Welcome back to your astro-somatic forecast for the week of February 2nd through the 8th. You know, never in a million years did I think I would go to school for clinical licensure. Spend 8 years in the Western medical world, transition to integrative health with a variety of Eastern modality training, and find my way back to the things that I was exploring when I was 18, which was astrology, only we've deepened that. We've so deepened those roots. And herbalism, that was the first set of education I enrolled myself into or enlisted myself into when I left the Western medical paradigm. So everything that I left for the path that so many people told me I needed to be on, I eventually made my way back to. It's very cool. I'm grateful that I get to bring you these forecasts with a deep understanding of this energy and the hope that everything that I'm sharing will positively impact you in some way, shape, or form each and every week. So welcome to your astro-somatic forecast for the week of February 2nd through the 8th. This week is not about reacting, it's about recognizing. Uranus, which is the planet of destabilizing, it's unpredictable, it's sporadic, it certainly walks to the beat of its own drum. But Uranus goes direct this week. Mercury, which is the planet of nervous system rulership and communication, as well as Venus, which is the planet of giving and receiving. It's really how we give and receive love and resources, as well as a bit of indulgence. But Mercury and Venus square Uranus, which means creating external pressure or tension with the planet Uranus. And this is disruption in the name of truth. The body will be the first to register it. You are literally a walking tuning fork. You are a walking antenna, and your soma experiences these energetic shifts long before your brain is capable of putting language to them. And oftentimes language falls short. Understand that astrology is really quantum architecture, and it's a way to create tangibility. It's a path. It's a channel to create tangible understanding in something that is widely misunderstood because most people can't see it. And we live in a world where if we can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't taste it, we can't smell it, we don't understand it, so we cast it aside as insignificant. That's just not true. So you might feel symptoms this week that don't make sense. Emotions may spike faster than context allows. Sudden urges to end or exit or excavate are definitely going to be present. And I want to remind you that this is not instability. This is your body refusing to perform what it no longer agrees to. Your body will always hold the boundary that you refuse to hold. And I want you to remember that. So in this forecast, I will walk you through the collective voltage, if you will, how this energy is going to impact every single one of us. The rising sign breakdowns, I tell you to listen for your rising sign and your moon sign each week that name a somatic response and a pattern being challenged. And I'm going to offer you one line to anchor yourself and carry this energy through the week. So let's get into the body of energy and how it's impacting the collective first. Now, Uranus is going direct in Taurus. This essentially equates to electrical voltage through your physical symptom. Taurus in medical astrology, it's an earth sign. It has a tendency to run dry and cold. It governs your thyroid and metabolism. Oftentimes, Taurian placements can present of one of two ways. The majority of the time, they present as stagnant, right? But this is electrical voltage going through a system as I just described. And then you've got Mercury and Venus squaring Uranus, which really equates to static in your relationships, static in communication, static in your values. There is potential for you to feel restless, for there to be significant amounts of ear ringing. I've had so much of that lately. There could be potential skin flares, stagnation, and things that your body cannot optimally metabolize have to find their way out and through. And if it's not through the liver and the kidneys, if it's not through poop and pee, guys, it's going to be through, maybe to a degree, breath and sweat, but ultimately the skin. So we could potentially see rushing, sudden desire to cancel plans or throw out your own plan. That's potential this week too. Weird appetite swings, emotional detachment or emotional flooding could also be possible too. And as I walk through these symptoms, I often have to remind myself how easy it is for so many of us to pathologize what's going on in the body, as opposed to recognize the symptom as a response to the energetic shifts that absolutely impact us. So this is me inviting you to just pause. As things come up, don't panic, just pause and allow yourself to operate as the observer of your body. How long does the symptom stay? How deep does this symptom go? How pervasive is it in your experience? Does it pass? Oftentimes, what amplifies our experience with the symptom is the stress response to it, as opposed to observation. Observation is a neutralizer. So can you be the observer of your physical system this week? The key here, as we're experiencing these things, is not to default to what's happening to me. It's to encourage ourselves to embody the perspective and utilize the lens of what am I done pretending feels okay? Your body is going to answer long before your mouth does, and I'm going to encourage you to listen to it. So I'm going to get into the rising sign forecasts, and I'm going to encourage you to listen for your rising sign. Again, your rising sign is the sign of the zodiac. There are 12 that governs your first house, the first house in your zodiac wheel. If you don't know how to find your rising sign, astro-seek.com, input your birth information, and it will give you the ability to discover what your rising sign is, what sign rules the first house in your zodiac wheel. I'm also going to encourage you to listen to and for your moon sign and take both sets of feedback, combine them, sift out what resonates, set to the side what doesn't. You may use it later in the week, and then apply. So many of us absorb information, but we don't apply. And application is often the missing piece to creating perhaps subtle, but often significant change in our life. So Aries Rising. Aries is a fire sign. It is the infant of the zodiac. It is the kid that will get off the bus and not look either way before going first. Aries Rising. What pattern is being challenged for you this week? Performing strength while secretly being resentful of how much you give. That is the pattern that is up for reflection this week. The life areas where you're probably going to see some inflammation occur will be around money. It will be around how you do or do not use your voice. It will be around the values that you have and hold or don't. And it will also be around your boundaries. Somatic cues that these aspects of your life are under inflammatory influence will include jaw tension, heat in the chest. Aries is a driver. It is a let's go get shit done. It's ruled by Mars. Mars is an inflammatory planet. So tongue pressed to the roof of the mouth. These are all signs that you want to pay attention to somatically, that the pattern being challenged, right, and the area of life it's being challenged are therefore and available in your awareness. If your throat tightens when you speak or your jaw clenches after a yes, that's not tension, it's self-betrayal, and it's trying to leave your body. So I want you to anchor in that my throat isn't the threat, it's the gate. Anything that you experience somatically is just attempting to provide you with feedback. Taurus Rising. Oh, I have so many Taurians in my life. Taurians like routine. They love to snack. You want to know where good food is? Find the Taurus. The Taurus in your friend group, the Taurus in your family, but routine, predictability, food, these are all things that Taurians love to anchor into. Again, Taurus rules the throat and the metabolism through the lens of medical astrology. So the pattern that you, Taurians, are being asked to challenge in the upcoming week is in regards to loyalty to the self-image that you've outgrown. If your body wants to go still or offline or inward, you're being asked to trust it and to let it. Your nervous system is done holding up an outdated version of who you are. The areas of life that are up for reflection for you in the upcoming week are your identity, your energy, and how you do or do not exercise self-permission. Skin sensitivity could absolutely be something that you experience. Adrenal crashing, breath getting stuck in the belly. These are all things that I want you to pay attention to in the upcoming week. And if you recognize that you've got skin sensitivity, or you're feeling a bit tired, or you're not breathing, let's drop back into our body and ask it what it needs. What I'm going to invite you to anchor in is that you don't owe anyone the version of you that used to work. So I don't owe anyone the version that used to work. That is your anchor for the upcoming week. Gemini Rising. So the pattern being challenged in your life, Gemini Risings, is overriding subtle truths for the sake of mental clarity. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, obviously in medical astrology, and I'm giving you a limited list. Medical astrology is really expansive, but if I were to sit here and give you every system of the body that is impacted by the sign and or its ruling planet, we would be here for 3 hours. So maybe at some point, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It rules the hands, it rules the forearms, it rules the nervous system. I am a Gemini. I have a stellium in my chart. I talk with my hands a lot. I'm actually well behaved on these videos. So the pattern, again, being challenged for you, Geminis, is overriding your subtle truths for the sake of mental clarity. You will have a tendency to override a lot of things for mental clarity because you're an air sign. You're extremely busy above the neck. So this is psychic cleanup for you. If you feel foggy, you are not off. You're underwater and the clearing has begun. Trust it. The areas of your life that the energy of the upcoming week is going to impact include the psyche. You may find yourself discovering or finally acknowledging some hidden fears as they bubble to the surface. You could see an excess need for sleep or disruption in your sleep and a need for or acknowledgement of emotional closure. Some of the signals that are going to come through your system, through your soma, include vivid dreams. If you remember them when you wake up, write them down. Keep a dream journal. Foot tension, okay? Limb buzzing and wordless grief. Allow it all to exist without attempting to place a label and put it in a bucket. Your anchor for the week is stillness is not failure to think, it's a portal to feel. As an air sign who tends to live life above the neck because that is where you are most comfortable. Geminis are like Google with 15,000 tabs open. It's really beneficial in certain circumstances, but it also detracts from our capacity to feel. Okay, so this is an invitation for you to drop from your head into your body and allow your body to lead the way. Let it. Cancer risings. Cancers have that hard exterior with the ooey gooey soft inside. We always utilize, obviously, the crab to describe. They're fiercely protective. They're very observant. They can be adaptable in multiple different environments, and ultimately, their favorite place is home. Now, in medical astrology, Cancer rules the breast, the chest, and the stomach. So the pattern being challenged for you, Cancer, is staying accessible to stay safe. Are you staying accessible to stay safe, and how do you define safe? This week, if your body pulls away from group energy, pay attention. You're not isolating, you're refining your resonance, and that's really important. As a water sign, any water sign that I talk about, you are porous, which means you are capable subconsciously and unknowingly of magnetizing the energy and amplifying what exists in a space. So this is where we really have to let our body lead. If it shuts down in the presence of particular people or group settings, I am going to ask you to listen to its guidance. Now, the life areas that are up for reflection in the upcoming week, under the energy of the upcoming week: friendships, community, collective roles. Who are you in your friend group? Where do you exist within your community? And what role do you play within the collective? Somatic symptoms that are coming up for you in the next week, or that you could potentially experience, how your body is speaking to you under the influence of the energy in the next week: heart flutters, breath catching mid-sentence, social fatigue. That's come up 3 times now. Pay attention to the places and spaces you're spending your most precious resource, which is time. The anchor for you in the upcoming week is, I don't have to be available to be connected. A lot of the times we just have to let our energy do the resonance and the talking. Leo risings. I say this in every video. I'm speaking to myself and you as we walk through this forecast. So the pattern being challenged in our life under the energy of the upcoming week is equating leadership to endurance. Does anybody else feel that? Go in the distance. As I come to you at 3:45 p.m. after starting my morning at 6:30 and being in front of my computer since 9, there have been breaks. But it's easy for us to go the distance. This is a fire sign. Action is easy for us, but so is burnout. So the pattern being challenged this week is, are we equating leadership with endurance? If your body glitches before you deliver, before you press publish, before you find yourself performing, it's very second nature for us. We have to be mindful of this. Some of it's very natural and second nature. A lot of it is not. It's not sabotage. It is your system asking for a different way to be seen. The life areas that are under revision and up for reflection in the coming week under this energy are your role within the family, your role within your friend group, your role within your company or within the business that you operate and own, your reputation and responsibility. Some of the somatic symptoms that could potentially be talking to us in the upcoming week that are asking us to pay attention: shoulder tightness. Leo rules the thoracic spine and the heart, okay? Anytime you see a Leo, lions stand tall and proud. So anytime there is somebody with prominent Leo in their chart slinked over, it is an immediate red flag for me. I need to talk to them. What's going on? What's dimming their inner light? How do we take the wet blanket off? What's going on? And it's painful. Slinking over can be extremely painful, right? Urge to collapse mid-task, you're doing too much. And breath held while performing. It's easy to do, but remind yourself to breathe. The anchor for you this week is, I lead best from where I'm resourced, not rehearsed. That is the challenge. Virgo risings. Virgo in medical astrology, again, another earth sign, cold, dry constitution. Typically, it rules the small intestine. Virgos have a tendency to be overly executed, mentally chattery, just because they are ruled by Mercury. Virgos have a tendency to apply perfectionistic standards to themselves as well as the people in their life, oftentimes without making the people in their life aware. All of these habits, if you will, can be applied in a favorable way and also be embodied in an unfavorable way. So the pattern being challenged for you, Virgo risings, is staying on course to prove your worth. To who and for what and to what end. If your rituals feel rigid or your clarity feels fake, great, you're right on time and perfectly on track. This is a detox before the deeper yes arises for you. The life areas that are up for reflection in the upcoming week based on the energetic influence are beliefs, your belief systems, your purpose, and your long-term direction. Now, some of the ways your body may be talking to you through symptoms in the upcoming week include gut bracing. Remember, Virgo rules the small intestine, so appetite is very much determined by the energy in the surrounding space. Throat dryness, are you actually using your voice? And are you using your voice in a way that is to and for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all? And then irritability with routine. The anchor for you this week is, I don't have to believe what I've outgrown just because I've built something on it. Libra risings. Libra is another beautiful air sign. It's the bicycle for two. They have a tendency to err a bit on the side of codependent and people-pleasing. Libra rules the kidneys, dualistic organ systems. So there's a hormonal influence in there too. Like I said, if I went through all of the systems that are influenced the rulership of each sign, we would be here for 3 hours. So just to give you a taste and idea, the pattern being called forward for reflection and challenge for you under the energy of the upcoming week is staying emotionally accessible to stay lovable. If your body recoils mid-connection or heats up in stillness, it's speaking to you. Let it untangle what your personality can't yet name. The life areas where you're being asked to review and reflect: intimacy, shared resources, energetic entanglement. And this energy may come through the physical body through symptoms such as pelvic constriction, nausea after closeness, and flinching from the mirror. That may mean the physical mirror or the mirror we see of ourselves in another person. Pay attention. The anchor for you in the upcoming week is, I can love and still leave. I just recorded a whole podcast episode on this with Adrian of how we're allowed to outgrow people. And I cannot emphasize the importance of walking away in a loving capacity for both of us. Scorpio risings, okay? Pattern being challenged for you, another water sign, which is always so interesting to me because Scorpios are so deep, which we can see the watery element there, but they're also like, there's a sting to them. And that really feels more fire to me. But Scorpio rules the detoxification capacity of a body. It rules the reproductive system. It rules like the lower digestion, which obviously is coupled with detoxification. But the pattern being challenged for you, Scorpio, is carrying someone else's regulation for the sake of harmony, which is really non-characteristic of you. It's interesting. If your head pounds during a conversation, or you feel flat after talking, your body is clocking the real cost of staying agreeable. Most Scorpios I know are not agreeable. I say that lovingly, right? But they're just very firm on keeping more than an arm's length distance until they really trust somebody. But that doesn't mean the dynamic of somebody that they bring into their inner circle doesn't eventually change. And this may be what you're going through. So the life areas, what a beautiful segue, the life areas that are under review and being asked to be revised under the energy of this week are partnerships, contracts, and one-on-one mirrors. The symptoms that are likely going to show up, your body's probably going to talk to you through relationship headaches. Who do you feel good around and who do you not feel not so great around, right? Shoulder to sternum tension and flickering energy. These are things that you want to pay attention to. Your anchor for the week is, I can be honest without being hard. And that is the challenge. Sagittarius Rising. Sag is another fire sign. You rule the SI joint and the hips, as well as the liver. This is a big one because it's ruled by Jupiter. So the pattern being challenged for you in the upcoming week is overriding capacity to maintain structure, overdoing it. I know, and my husband, who is a Sagittarius, has overdone it because he gets clumsy. He gets clunky. He does things that he wouldn't typically do when he's laser focused. I'm like, babe, you've pushed past your limit. Let's stop. So you're not procrastinating, you're protecting when you decide to conserve your energy. It is recommended that you do so. Let your schedule collapse where your soul is refusing to conform. Just let it. The areas of life that are under reflection for you, being asked to be revised, are routines, labor, health rhythms. Pay attention to those. And your body is likely going to speak to you through symptoms. And those symptoms are going to look like immune spikes. Do you have a cold? Do you not feel that great? Is it mediocre under the weather? Calendar dread and inflammation flares, namely in the areas I made mention of, the hips, the inner thighs, the SI joint. Your anchor for the week is, if my body says no, the plan is not sustainable, listen to it. Capricorn Rising. Capricorn, again, another earth-based sign. So cold, dry, constitutionally. This is the boss baby of the zodiac sign. It's the CEO energy. And in medical astrology, this rules skin, the teeth to a degree. There's a lot of co-rulership with many of these organ systems. Structure, okay? So when we look at the pattern that's being challenged for you under the energy of the upcoming week, we're looking at restricting joy to feel responsible. God, that's such a Capricorn thing to do. I got to be the responsible one. I got to do the tasks before I can allow for play and pleasure. If delight feels dangerous or your expression dries up, listen, that's your body asking for more than survival. Now, the areas of life that you're being asked to review and reflect upon in the energy of the upcoming week. Pleasure. What is your relationship to it? How do you exist within it? Expression. How do you express yourself and your emotions, or do you not? Right? Inner child joy are all on the table for review. And there's a good chance that your body's going to start talking to you through symptoms. These are somatic cues. So we could see throat tension, not speaking your truth. We could see libido drop. If we don't have play and pleasure in any other aspect of our life, we're certainly not going to find it in the bedroom. Okay. And then creatively flatlining. Joy is the goal. Joy is the homework. Joy is the mission. Your anchor for the week is, my joy is not a reward. It's a requirement. Aquarius Rising. Aquarians, definitely heady. Definitely ruled by Uranus. We see an influence on circulation with Aquarians through the lens of medical astrology. But my Aquarian friends and clients, I'm always like, if you're going to take a call with me, please go for a walk. I get a better version of them, and they know it because they live so afloat above their body and in their head that when they're moving We get a bridge between the two. Same goes for eating. So many people are like, oh, you need to sit down to eat. Yeah, it depends. Depends on who you're talking to. Aquarians, no, especially when there's prominence in the chart. So the pattern being challenged for you in the upcoming week, under the energy of the upcoming week, is staying stable in environments that destabilize you. If your body wants to move, if you want to change rooms, if you want to scream in silence, please believe it, right? The roots are shifting for you. The areas of life that are under revision or being asked to be reflected upon are your home, your inner stability, your generational patterns that are coming up and being asked to be released. And there's a good chance your body's going to talk to you through symptoms that include lower back aches, rootless sleep and restless sleep, and emotional flashbacks. Your anchor for the week is familiar isn't the same as safe. Last but certainly not least, we get to Pisces. So Pisces Rising. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune oversees the immune system in medical astrology, or at least that's one aspect. Pisces also rules the ankles and the feet, your foundation for life. How stable is it? I love when I talk to somebody and they've got strong, prominent Pisces in their chart and they deal with severity in connective tissue issues, right? Like collapsing of their joints. I'm like, yeah, well, your joints are just representative of your boundaries in life, and clearly you don't have any. Your structure can only be as boundaries as your energy is. So the pattern being challenged under the energy of the upcoming week, speaking in ways that protect others from your truth. If your voice disappears, trust that your body's editing in real time. The areas of life that are under revision or being asked to be reviewed are communication, expression, daily processing. And there's a good chance your body is going to speak to you through symptoms. And those include like words vanishing, losing my train of thought, right? Throat fluttering, not being able to get it out, and eyes tired of screens, like interaction. It could be screens, it could be social settings, just being tired of being plugged in and turned on. So your anchor for the upcoming week is my silence is not emptiness, it's calibration. You, the least stable constitution in the zodiac. It's so important for you to have energetic rituals and boundaries. Otherwise, you become everyone around you and you lose yourself in it. Okay. So here's the thing. Not all of these symptoms are going to apply. You may only experience one. Some of this may resonate, other parts of it may not, or all of it may resonate, or none of it may resonate, right? How this energy impacts you is going to be respective to how the transits land in your personal chart. These are astrological weather maps to give you an idea of how this energy could potentially impact you. So you do not need to decode every symptom. You just need to stop. The invitation is to stop overriding the ones that speak the loudest. Take note. Tune in. This week is just like this year. It feels like this entire year. This week is a turning point, not because the transits say so, but because our bodies are literally done complying with bullshit and what's no longer aligned. We have got to start listening to them. It is the hardest classroom you will ever sit in, but it is the most fruitful one. You got to let your breath shift. You got to let your symptoms interrupt, and you got to let your integrity reorganize. I would love if you hit subscribe. If this video resonated with you, share it with somebody you think would really benefit from it. And please drop your rising sign in the comments below. Let me know where your body is saying that I'm done. And obviously, I will see you next week. Full body first, strategy second.